Okay, let's unpack this. If you are tracking global commerce at all, you know the whole nature of work has changed.
Oh, completely.
And with it, where you live while you work, we're seeing so many more professionals, whole corporate teams needing real extended stay solutions,
Right.
especially when they're landing for, say, a few months in a new Asian market.
hmm
The tiny hotel room that's designed for a 3-night conference, it just doesn't cut it anymore.
It's true. The market is really demanding something else. Travelers are, they're rejecting this idea that a long-term stay
Yeah.
means you have to sacrifice all the comforts of home.
Or the space to actually live.
Exactly. Or, the basic infrastructure you need to work effectively. People need stability. They need independence built right into where they're staying.
And that strategic gap, that space between a traditional long lease and a short-term hotel, that's what we're digging into today. We're focusing on Shama Serviced Apartments, which is part of the ONYX Hospitality Group, and they're really aggressive strategy for expansion across Asia Pacific.
And our mission for this deep dive is to get past the marketing slogans. We want to understand the why behind their growth. What's the operational strategy that lets Shama actually deliver on this promise of a home-style escape?
Right, and what does that really mean for them leading the market in these really high-demand cities?
It's a big question.
The central idea they push is live your blended life. Now, on the surface, that sounds nice, but it has to mean something real. Let's start there. What does this homestyle escape actually give you that a hotel just can't?
The foundation is all about function. I mean, for a long stay, you have to solve the basic problems of daily life. A guest needs to feel settled right away, whether they're there for a month or a year.
Okay.
And the source material really emphasizes these light-filled, spacious apartments. That immediately sets them apart from the cramped cookie-cutter hotel room.
That space element is so key, especially in dense Asian cities where every square foot is at a premium. But I have to think the biggest difference is the kitchen, right? Culinary independence.
Absolutely. The inclusion of full amenities, and specifically a fully equipped kitchen and a real living area that completely transforms the experience. It goes from transient to, well, feeling like home.
We all know those soft costs of long-term travel.
Oh, yeah. The expensive takeout, not being able to control what you eat, just the sheer fatigue of dining out all the time.
It's exhausting.
Shama gets rid of that. By letting guests cook their own meals, they cut the overall cost and the stress for the traveler. And that makes their solution incredibly attractive for corporate HR departments.
That's a great point. It's a shift from just managing expenses to promoting actual wellness, making sure people are not just physically there, but mentally comfortable.
Precisely. And while they give you that independence, the space, the kitchen, they don't abandon the things you expect from hospitality. Essential services like housekeeping are still there.
So it's the best of both worlds.
It is. It's the definition of the blended solution.
Yeah.
You get the benefits of an apartment with the professional support of a high-end hotel.
And a key point in the sources is that this escape isn't like hidden away somewhere. It's all about strategic placement.
Location, location, location.
Mm-hmm.
The properties are specifically positioned for amazing access to everything you need. They're near business districts, of course, but also lifestyle hubs.
So it cuts down on commute stress.
Exactly. And it maximizes your downtime. And get this, a really powerful detail mentioned is that they're also strategically positioned near hospitals.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is. It signals a real commitment to corporate duty of care. It offers reassurance to companies placing employees in new cities, often far away from their usual support systems.
That's a level of insight you don't get just scrolling through real estate listings. It shows they're targeting serious clients. Okay, so we've got the physical blueprint. Now let's talk about the speed of their ambition, because here's where it gets into, well, what looks like a play for real market domination. This is not a small, tentative project.
The numbers definitely back that up. The Shama brand has a portfolio of over 2,500 units across more than 20 properties. But what's really fascinating isn't just the number of units, it's where they are. They've seen huge revenue growth and have become a leading provider in really tough markets, like Hong Kong.
Okay, leading the market in a place as competitive and regulated as Hong Kong, that tells you their operational model must be rock solid.
It has to be. To succeed there, you have to master nimble property management, maximize your yield, and keep your clients coming back with amazing service. Hong Kong is the ultimate stress test.
So they're basically exporting that high standard to places like Bangkok or Kuala Lumpur now.
That's the playbook. And you can see it in their geographic focus. It's not random. It's surgically focused on key economic hubs in Asia, Thailand, Malaysia, China, Hong Kong, and now they're even moving into emerging markets like Laos.
The difficulty of that kind of spread seems huge. I mean, you're navigating completely different local laws, regulations, infrastructure.
It's incredibly complex. Entering a market like Laos isn't just about finding a building. It means dealing with unique construction and staffing challenges that you just don't have in a mature market like Thailand.
So their scale isn't just about size, it's about agility.
Exactly. And looking ahead, their plans are aggressive. The sources say they have new properties planned for Thailand, Malaysia, and Laos, with a goal of adding 10 new properties by 2025.
That's a big investment. It signals a lot of confidence.
It's a calculated move to secure that first-mover advantage and really dominate market share.
But to manage that kind of scale, you can't have a one-size-fits-all product. You have to cater to different travelers and, maybe more importantly, different corporate budgets.
And that leads us directly to their tiered model, which might be the smartest part of the whole strategy.
Okay, break that down for us.
This is where they move from just thinking about volume to intelligent segmentation. The tiered offering lets them capture revenue from the entire spectrum of the market, from a solo contractor on a budget to a relocating CEO with their family.
That flexibility is what makes it resilient. So if corporate budgets tighten up, Shama still has an option.
Precisely. They've split the market into 3 clear levels. At the very top, you have Shama Lux,
The premium experience.
the upper upscale experience. Think prime locations, white glove service, everything designed for maximum prestige and comfort.
Okay, and the standard core product.
That's just Shama, the standard category.
Yes.
This is their bread and butter. It's what delivers on that core promise of the home-style escape. Full kitchen, lots of space, aimed at the bulk of mid to senior level corporate people.
And the third one, Shama Hub. That sounds different, almost like it's aimed at a younger demographic or maybe maximizing space near transport hubs.
You're right on. The hub is fascinating. It lets them play in the high volume, maybe lower margin part of the market. It's marketed as a more dynamic urban living concept.
So project teams, maybe.
Could be project teams, younger workers, people who need a super central functional base for a shorter stay. And economically, it's a feeder system. It brings a wider base of people into their brand, who might then upgrade to standard or luxe for their next longer assignment.
That layered strategy seems really smart. They're maximizing the yield across their whole network, not just selling premium space.
And it ensures they have market resilience. And, this is exactly what platforms like Move and Stay look for. They need diverse, flexible options in their inventory to meet the specific needs of all kinds of professional travelers.
So Shama is selling flexibility.
Which is the ultimate currency in corporate mobility today.
Okay, so we've covered the physical infrastructure and the financial strategy, but apartments and pricing only get you so far, right? Especially when someone's living somewhere for months. The real factor that makes a place feel like home is often not physical.
Right.
So let's talk about the soft infrastructure. How does Shama actually create a sense of belonging?
This is so critical. When you live somewhere for 3-6 months in a totally new city, the isolation can be immense.
I can only imagine.
So if you're really promising a blended life, you have to actually blend the guest into the local scene and connect them with other people in the same boat.
So how do they do that? What's the mechanism?
The centerpiece of this is the Shama Social Club.
Yep.
And it's a huge differentiator. This isn't just a flyer on the lobby suggesting you hang out. It's a program designed to organize curated activities and events.
And these events have 2 goals, I assume?
They do. First, connecting residents with each other. This immediately fights that loneliness and builds an instant social network.
That sounds great in a brochure, but how do you scale that? I mean, with properties in Bangkok, Shanghai, Kuala Lumpur, doesn't that become a huge operational headache?
That's a sharp question.
Yeah.
And its effectiveness probably depends on really good local management at each property. But the value might outweigh the cost, because the second function of the club is to integrate residents with the local culture. They'll sponsor trips, cooking classes, local market tours. This turns a long stay from something purely transactional into a genuinely enriching experience. And that is what builds massive brand loyalty and gets those repeat corporate bookings.
And in many Asian markets where the culture is so rich but can be intimidating for a newcomer, having that structured bridge to local life is a huge value add. It makes a new city feel accessible.
By focusing on this soft infrastructure, Shama is making the experience meaningful. Guests who feel like they're part of a community are way more likely to recommend and rebook. They're turning a functional stay into an emotional one.
So let's bring this all together. What does this deep dive into Shama's blueprint really tell us about the future of service living in Asia?
Well, it shows that leading the market in this space is really a three-part game. First, you have to master the physical space, the functional apartments, the strategic locations.
Yeah.
Second, you need an intelligent economic model. Like their multi-tiered segmentation Lux standard hub to stay resilient.
Mm-hmm.
And third, and maybe most importantly, you have to invest heavily in the soft infrastructure, like the Shama Social Club, to build that community and loyalty.
They're selling an integrated lifestyle, not just square footage.
It's a really compelling model.
It is, and it raises a final question for anyone watching the space. Given Shama's clear focus on building community, how essential is that social infrastructure, that feeling of a shared experience? How essential is that to winning the market compared to just having, say, the fastest internet or the fanciest furniture?
A great question.
And to put it to you, our listener,
Yeah.
if you were relocating long-term to a new city, what part of that community would matter most to you? Would it be the organized social events, a shared workspace, or just knowing other people are in the same boat? Something to think about.